it's been about 490 days since your diagnosis. It's a pretty good effort. What worries you the most about going to this place?
Well, you won't get out of there, will you?
What do you think's been the hardest?
Well, no, I had to. Can't do with you guys too much longer.
And if you had advice for anyone your age going through brain cancer themselves, what's the best thing that you think they could do to battle through it? What do they have to hold on to?
You've had a pretty bloody good life.
What do you think's been some of the most important things whilst you're going through that journey?
That you guys have been here for me every step of the way.
Do you think it would have been really different without that help?
Should be.
Was that both physically and mentally?
Well, especially mentally. No, I won't be around for this, guys.
Is that what worries you the most?
Yeah, sure.
Can you see though that what you've left behind is you've given us the skills to be able to cope with life, right? So don't you see you've done your job?
No, I have to go under that knife and not get out of it maybe. That was bloody tough.
You were pretty full of joy when you woke up from that.
Oh, should be. Well, didn't think I would. Even though they said we'd never lost anyone. I thought, well, I could be the bloody first. And watching all the other guys with the bandages around their head and only half my age, and I thought, fuck. Because it could happen again. That's the thing. And you never know why. It's all the uncertainty that young little bugger's half my age, and it can always happen again. You never know. And I had the choice to stop that bloody treatment. But I knew I was in very, very good medical care. You never find a bloody hospital surgeon anywhere in the world as good as him, guys. And they explain it every step of the way. They doesn't let me in the dark.
So ultimately you feel incredibly lucky for the last 500 days.
So, whether I'm going to wake up or not. Go to bed and don't know anything else. Boom, that's gone.
When you think about your life overall, what would you classify as some of your greatest achievements?
I didn't make many achievements. And being able to teach student nurses how to do things, like how to put in lures and all that sort of stuff.
Do you feel really proud about that?
Yeah, I do, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You get to know them just by a bloody flick of an eye or the flick of a finger, you know what they want.
Who were some of your memorable patients besides Andrew?
Oh, Trey and Peter Noel, and should have had so many.
What would you say to people who have to go through radiation treatment and are scared about that?
Nothing to be scared of. You don't feel anything. The worst bloody thing was the MRI. Feels like someone's got marbles and they're rattling them around their head. Well, that's what I felt anyway. one of the funniest things, I had that MRI and they took my teeth out. I went out through the door, they shut the door and locked it. And they come in and take me away, and where's my bloody teeth? Oh, they're still in there. They had to wait about 20 minutes till I'd finished so I could pick my teeth up. Stupid bastards.
What was the worst part about chemo?
I don't know, that wasn't bad. I didn't find it bad at all. I guess, I don't know, I can't remember that.
Okay.
I can remember having it, but you just have to count down, 15, 19, no, I'm nearly finished. Waiting for the results is real tough. So I worry about Karen, she's got to go through all that and wait for results, and then maybe found out that it's travelled, and that must be scary as shit. And losing my bloody sight on my left side. Bagging into things.
So over the years, how good has this place been for you?
This place,
Yeah.
oh, it's been brilliant. And having a lovely neighbour like her, just, I could have got a crabby old bitch. Having to give up your independence. There you go.
Well, I think you've shown a lot of resilience, courage to get through this.
Oh, everyone else will do it.
No, they don't. Not everyone has that same strength as you do, Dad.
Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't get into this mob. Because I like that place, so I got Ross here and all that. Eileen round the corner. Caitlin was round the corner.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
But I'll ring you, and you don't have to. I'll just say to you, Russell, would you like to talk to me, or shall I ring back later? Because I could be ringing at a bad time.
Oh, no bad time.
You might be in the bar or tea or something, or like that. Yeah. Have you got some?
You've got secrets.
I don't know, they're all growing up.
She's got my baby.
All disappeared.
Secrets she keeps. It starts Friday on 1.
And I guess the key question that we have is understanding whether Adam has the ability or capacity to continue to support Dad in his care based going on a rest home. So
What
yes,
you're expecting there to be as well?
yes, correct. And then I realised you hadn't signed it.
It's official. There is no session.
And I
I reread it then.
okay, do you want to read it now?
Yeah.
I've had my morning food.
It's been almost 500 days since Dad's diagnosis, and I know that yourself and Graham, by default and also through love and care, have really been the primary carers for Dad. What's been the most difficult, when you think about it, in terms of families watching this who may be going through the similar journey? What are your lessons that you've learned? What's been tough, and what should they keep in mind?
I think what's been tough is if you've got children around and seeing the deterioration. I think that's probably the hardest. And I think...
You mean like making sure that their psychological, their mental health needs about seeing someone like their loved one going downhill?
And being respectful of them if they don't want to see You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they want to stay away and only want to do certain things at certain times, it's that balance thing. I think it's really hard seeing someone who lives by themselves having so much thinking time and knowing that they've got family or friends or whomever, but then they go back to their house and, you know, just knowing that you're going to die and you can't do anything about it to help someone. It's probably.
You mean like if that person with that like brain cancer's on their own,
Yeah.
then maybe they need support.
They need support. It's not always family.
Right.
It's just
I don't understand half of this.
yeah.
I
And
don't know
then
what it is.
and then probably I think a time factor as well. The longer it's hard. Like, you know, doctors give you X, but then X can either be this or it can be this, and then it can go back or it can just that's probably hard. Yeah.
Do you think that clinical people in the health areas take a clinical approach, or have they been empathetic, or is it just another person with this disease?
I think the people that we've had dealings with across the board have been absolutely fantastic and have shown heaps of empathy for Dad. I think some of it is coming down to the fact of the individual themselves, seeing the individual and having someone go with the individual to appointments, because sometimes people who are going through it don't want to ask questions for a number of reasons, and having that support person I think is incredibly important, and then you can kind of translate on behalf, so it shows the empathy and then it comes back the other way. I think that's incredibly important. I think also though, Dad, we've been very lucky because Dad's got an amazing family around him and everyone's seen that.
What toll has it taken on, like, you and your husband Graham? What, over the last year and a half? What has it had a toll at times? And really, in terms of like needing to be a primary support person / carer.
Yeah, it's been real hard.
So, what advice would you have to other families, married couples, siblings around? What do they need to give themselves in terms of time, and how often do you think to step away?
That's really hard to tell because, everyone's so different. I think the number one most support thing is making sure that you have a support person around you. So you're supporting someone else, but you've got to have a support person around you, and understanding that everyone feels things differently, and that's actually okay.
What about employment? Like your employer, like what should people? What's your advice to people when should they be discussing, and to what level with their employer about they may need short notice leave or run away to different things at times?
Well, I guess that's really interesting because I am not an employer, but I am from a manager's perspective. So I have staff, and I have staff actually going through this now as well. So for me, I think it's very much it's that balance between, can you meet the needs of the business on short notice if this person is away? Because if you've got the right person, that person's going to always come back here, and it shows loyalty and all that kind of stuff. You have to be willing to be able to help that person outside work, knowing what they're going through, and then that just because they can't be there doesn't mean to say they're not a good employee. And that's really it.
And what about what impact has it had from a financial perspective for the likes, in our case, of Dad, being a superannuitant, having no savings? How difficult do you think that's been for him and maybe others, particularly as he's declined, around special moments and just day-to-day bills? Like, how difficult has it been, and what should others who are going through this or embarking on it need to be mindful about from a financial perspective?
I don't think the financial perspective is too hard. I don't think the impact on finances is actually that great, because not a lot changes. Because when you go through this, you have so much support. So you're actually entitled to actually quite a lot of support, which are actually free services. The problem is that a lot of people don't understand who to go to, where to get those, the questions to ask. And unfortunately, not everything is always provided to you without you knowing what that starting point is. That's the problem. As soon as you ask those questions, then you'll get the information that you need.
So do you think linking in with a social worker is an important step in that?
You know what? I don't even know if it's a social worker. So whether it's a doctor or a social worker, you just need to get one advocate that can do that for you. And whether it is a social worker, like Dad's doctor's been amazing. I'd say absolutely fine, a supportive doctor who can stay on that journey the whole way through. Yeah. I would not recommend doing this if you're actually in full-time employment and you're actually a boss as well. It's incredibly hard. Yeah. That's the one thing I would say. Honestly.
Well, you've managed to make it work. How did you go about that then?
Because I'm someone who can multitask extremely well, and who will always do anything to get the job done. And I just do it. I just do it. But I've seen people around me who can't take on the same level. You know what I mean? It's everyone has their own breaking point. I haven't got there yet because I'm very much a person that doesn't want to let people down. You just get the job done, right? Someone's got to do it.
What have you learned about yourself through this process?
I like wine. No, no, I love wine. That, I don't know. It's not really about myself. I probably learn more about family actually. There's probably, yeah, probably learn more about family and learn about, what an amazing husband that I have actually. Yeah.
Who coincidentally doesn't like being filmed, but there he is making dinner.
Yeah,
so for all those guys out there who think that it's not good enough to make dinner, here he is. Look at that.
It's out of a pack.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Nice one, Graham.
Right, we don't have any sauce.
Yeah, we do.
No, we
Oh,
don't.
that's no good.
Yeah, we do. It's like you just do it.
You just get on and do it.
You
Day
just
by
get
day.
on and do it. But what happens is your life revolves around it. That's what happens. And the scariest bit is honestly, every night you wait for your phone to go off. You've got to learn to live on sweaty face sleep. That's the one thing I would say, and to be able to function. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Much easier if you have full-time carer, but when you're working, it's incredibly hard. Incredibly hard.
So because you set your home up, basically a whole room for Dad to get some pretty much respite from his own place to here, can you show us that room?
Yeah. We were gonna, the original plan was this weekend is that we were going down to a single bed because we were then going to put in a chair for Dad, a lazy boy, and then there's a TV that can go into here, and so Dad could be lying in bed and have everything that he needs basically at his fingertips. Yeah, that's really it. Doctors that are based there, or do you offer like an outreach program to some patients?
When Mother prayed for me, down on her bended knee, the blinding tears rolled down her cheeks. When Mother prayed for me, she held me in her arms, her eyes lifted tenderly, and she prayed God above to shine down her love. When Mother prayed for me, these things in life are forgotten, the memories that old we love dear, but one precious memory still sticks to my heart that time cannot erase. That'll do it. But one precious memory still sticks to my heart. Oh, I sung that.
Keep going. Yeah.
That time cannot erase. When Mother prayed for me, down on her bended knee, and she prayed God above to shine down her love. When Mother prayed for me.
What dinner?
Well done.
What dinner did it sing?
It's the two, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Spring back. Autumn forward.
Some will have the rhyme. Oh, it's been foolish. I really wish we could
Anything else, Dad?
the radio archives from the talkback sessions.
Had your pills, you got your torch, your phone's there
Where? Oh, yeah.
in the middle, your radio's on,
Yeah, that should be alright.
you got the bottle there to pee in if you need it.
Oh, yeah.
Right next to you there, that's it. Okay?
Yeah, should be alright.
Oh, done well, mate. Sing out in the night, okay? I'll be next door.
Yeah.
Alright, bro. Good night, Dad. It's his last official night here. Just put him to bed. A tough end. Tough end. But it's necessary for him. He needed some help. Yesterday and the day before, again today. Just worsens every day. So it's sad, but it needs to happen. It's time for the next chapter.